So here's the thing, getting to your first six-figure year is the hardest part of your financial journey. In this video, I'm going to share with you the top 12 side hustles that can generate you $12,000 per month. From tutoring business when I was 15 to real estate to selling digital products, I've tried various different side hustles throughout my teens and my 20s. And in this video, I'm going to break down the 12 most effective ones I've come across. Now, the notion behind a side hustle is the ability to work on other streams of income whilst you're still in your job. The reality of the situation is the majority of us will need to maintain a 9-to-5 job to pay for our expenses, even though we have bigger aspirations. We want to grow our financial wealth. We want to be able to increase our net worth. But the smart way of doing so is to do so outside of your 9-to-5. What are you doing from 5 to 12 a.m.? That is your opportunity to build your financial freedom. And in order to do that, you're going to need to start a side hustle. Now, one of the key criteria for an effective side hustle is it's got to be able to fail quickly and fast. One of my business rules has always been, if you're going to fail quickly, fail fast, accept defeat, and move on. But also, you want to fail cheap. If you're going to fail a side hustle, you want to do so at minimum possible cost. You don't want to spend tens of thousands of dollars into a side hustle only to realize in month 2, this is not the one for you. So you want to be able to set up a side hustle that's quick to get started, quick to see if it's going to work, and if you're going to fail quickly and move on to the next one. Now, in this video, versus the normal videos we just share the same old side hustles every single time, I've tried to include a few golden nuggets in here. There's going to be a few different types of side hustles which you've probably not heard of that are thinking outside the box, so this can appeal to different types of people. Now, there is no such thing as just one perfect side hustle. It doesn't exist. What does exist is which side hustle works for your unique set of circumstances. Based on your circumstances, the country you're in, the amount of capital you have access to, your skill set, a different side hustle can appeal to different people. So without further ado, let's get into this. Now, my first side hustle I'm going to start with is selling digital products. Selling digital products is an amazing way to build extra revenue at very low margin. Margin is the key for business. For those who are new to business or don't understand the terminology, margin is what you're left with after all your costs are taken away from your revenue. Now, you will hear so many different people talk about drop shipping as a great example of a side hustle. Now, one of the limitations with drop shipping is that you will then have very low margin. Once you've paid for the cost, once you've paid for the delivery, you've paid for any customer support if you're actually fulfilling the products yourself, you are left with very little at the end of the month. That is why with digital products such as selling Notion templates, selling stickers, right? People are downloading JPEGs and PNG files, downloading Excel templates. There are so many different things you could be selling on platforms such as Etsy, using a platform such as Payhip or Gumroad, that you could be selling digital products without any need for customer support, without any need to deliver anything, not to maintain any physical hardware. This is a great way to start, but here's the catch. What if you're no good? What if you have no skills of creating an Excel planner, of creating a template or a tool or a picture? What you can do is you can hire a freelancer. Yep, you can go ahead, go onto a website like Fiverr or Upwork, and you can hire a freelancer to create a piece of art for you, to create that Notion template for you, to create that WordPress website template for you. And you simply take that, package it up, put it on a nice e-commerce website and start marketing it. And there you go. You've got your first digital product side hustle up and running. The second side hustle I want to share with you guys is online courses and education. Now, the important thing with this idea is that you are riding a big macro wave. And that is really important when you're trying to identify a side hustle or a business to jump into. Where is the wave going? We are moving more and more away from your traditional style of education in an institute, in an academic university, towards people taking sovereignty over their own education. Day by day, people are taking courses on Udemy, on Skillshare, on Coursera, on YouTube as well, to educate themselves in an ad hoc. And you want to make sure that whatever you're an expert in, whatever you specialize in, whether you're a video editor, whether you're a graphic designer, whether you're a great podcast host, or you have skills in a certain sport or other professionalism, are you making your knowledge available for others to buy and watch through? And here's the beautiful thing. Once you've filmed your educational course, your content, it may have taken you a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. Once you've filmed it and you've uploaded it available to purchase, you no longer need to do anything. That can constantly be bringing you in money repetitively each month. But here's the hack again. You don't have to limit yourself to the knowledge you have. Why can you again not go find some freelancers who can sell you a course? You buy a course, ask them to film a course in technical analysis like we have in the description, or film a course on how to be a great graphic designer, and you go sell that on your website. You market it, you bring the traffic to that website. So now you can have a page with a list of 20 different courses, which you've paid once for. You've paid the creator of those courses once for, and you list them on a website to sell and bring in recurring income. Now, teaching courses was actually one of the first things I did when I was in my teens. When I was in my teens, I was lucky enough to be really exceptional at school. I was really able to pick up the curriculum and teach myself how to pass the exams. And what I figured was, I was a better teacher than the teachers, because what could happen was I knew the curriculum off by heart, right? Because I've just studied it. So I set up a small tutoring business where I could tutor all the other kids who were taking exams a year or two below me. And they would trust me because I just passed that exam. I can show them certificates, say, look, I've just passed that exam and you're taking the exact same exam which I took last year. And so I set up this physical tutoring business. But nowadays, you can take this online. Everybody is taking courses online. If you're good at maths, if you're good at history, if you're good at biology, why can you not just spin that up on an online course? Side hustle number 3, selling physical goods. Yep, you'll be surprised, but selling physical goods is still a fantastic side hustle for you to set up in 2023. You only need to do one search on a platform like Etsy to see how many pages there are selling thousands and thousands of goods, of mugs, of t-shirts, of wooden ornaments, of key rings. There are so many people looking to these platforms to find customizable physical goods. Now, the hack that's going to keep you ahead of all the other shops on Etsy and platforms like this is to make sure you are following the trend. If, for example, you know that the crypto meme coin Dogecoin is going to be really popular over the next year, you can go ahead and start creating physical goods for Dogecoin. But then you need to be ready for the next trend to come up. And as soon as these trends come up, you flip the business, you rotate, you pivot into selling those products too. Remember when I said I was going to give you a few unorthodox ideas? Well, number 4 is one of those, and that is to set up a SaaS company. Now, I know this can sound intimidating, you're just looking for a side hustle, but the first SaaS company I set up was actually done whilst I was in a full-time role. Yes, in the evenings and on weekends, I set up a SaaS company that was bringing in over $12,000 a month in recurring income even before I left my job. And the way you do so is to get a product set up very, very quickly and cheaply. Now, granted, setting up a SaaS company is going to need a lot more upfront cost than some of the other examples I'm sharing here, but it's not as much as you think. If you could save up even a few $1,000s, maybe up to $5,000, that should be enough for you to get a cheap, quick and dirty prototype launched and out there that you can start to test the market. Now, my SaaS company was providing customer feedback solutions. So we'd sell this enterprise software into companies to conduct feedback from their customers on their behalf. And then we do a bunch of different referral dynamics. So we trigger Google referrals and Facebook referrals and all kinds of things from them. And companies would pay us monthly to take that pain off them. They didn't want to do it. It's far easier for them to sign up and pay me a couple of $1,000s a month versus them having to create this whole solution in-house. So again, you want to find out what are the pain points that companies are facing. Ring some of them, email some of them, ask them what things do they find difficult, and then can you cheaply and quickly find a developer who maybe, if you don't have any money, becomes your co-founder and you give them 50% of a non-existent business to start with, and you build the early stages of this SaaS company together to solve those pain points. The beauty of a SaaS company, again, is that the margins are very high. Once you've set it, it can just keep bringing in recurring revenue. Now, the challenge you're going to face with a SaaS company is attracting new clients. And this is called the cost of acquisition of customer, or CAC. Once you've figured out how to acquire customers for cheap enough that their lifetime value is worth it, that's when you've set up a successful SaaS company. And there are many examples on the stock market of SaaS companies which command crazy valuations. And that brings me into my next point. A SaaS company is something you can sell. And I've successfully managed to sell my SaaS companies in the past as well. Once you've spun up a SaaS company, you will be paid a multiple of your annual recurring revenue. Yes. And this is how you start to build bigger wealth multiples. In other words, if your company is going to be valued at 10 times the annual recurring revenue, That means if I can find one customer to pay me $1 a month throughout this year, that is $12 in the year. That is $120 of enterprise value. And that's where the magic starts to click and you realize, hang on a second, setting up a SaaS company is a great way to build net worth. Okay, so we've spoken about technology and setting up a SaaS company. What if you're a little bit more physical? What if you're a little bit more hands-on and traditional? How about real estate? And there's a great model in real estate called rent to rent. Now, depending on which country you're in, this should be accessible to you. But the premise behind rent to rent is you want to find landlords who are unable to rent out certain properties in their portfolio. So picture this. You found a landlord. This landlord has a portfolio of 20 properties. And within that portfolio of 20 properties, there's 1 or 2 properties in certain areas which they're just unable to fill with reliable good tenants. You reach out to this landlord. You find out that it's a pain point for them. And you offer them to take the tenancy off their hand for the next year, but at a 15 to 20% discount. You're then able to secure the property, and now it's your job, with your focus on this one property because you're just starting out, to go and fill that property. So you're going to list this property on websites, you're going to talk about it on social media, you're going to get it rented out. And when you get it rented out, you're going to make the margin. This is known as rent to rent, and it's a great beginner strategy for people looking to build wealth in real estate. Now, when you're ready to scale this up, you can go ahead and get another property and another property. And I've seen many people build this up to 10, 20, 30 properties and really generate good income every single month. Side hustle number 6 is a slight variation from the previous one I shared with you, and that is rent to serviced accommodation. Now, rent to serviced accommodation is the same principle as I explained previously, but now when you have the property, instead of finding a tenant to rent it off of you, you actually list it on a website such as Airbnb and Booking.com to actively manage the bookings. Now, the beauty behind this is you can command a far higher profit margin, but it does require more maintenance. So if you've got more time on your hands and you want to get more margin, this is a great way to go. But of course, you probably need to hire a cleaner. You will probably need to be able to list them on these websites and be really good at making sure that you've got bookings coming in. You need to manage those bookings, manage cancellations, but the profit margins should cover all those costs. Side hustle number 7, and you've heard this one in every single side hustle video you've watched, but you've still not bitten the bullet to start a YouTube channel. Yes, even in 2023, setting up a YouTube channel is still a phenomenal way for you to generate side income. And I'm not just talking about the AdSense of the YouTube channel itself. Building an audience is the key function of being able to build significant amounts of wealth. And we're going to come on to other side hustles further down the line, which will require you to have an audience. It's all good you having an amazing product or service. If you don't have an audience to sell that to, you're going to struggle. And YouTube continues to be a phenomenal platform where people love to consume long-form content. So if, again, you can get yourself set up on YouTube, this is a great way for you to start building your income. Now, the problem with YouTube is it requires a very specific skill set. What if you're not good on camera? What if you don't want to be on camera? What if you feel like you aren't articulate enough to have a YouTube channel? Well, there are other side hustles, and I'm going to come onto those shortly. But before I get into those, you can still set up a YouTube channel with all those limitations. There are so many people that have spun up faceless YouTube channels where there's either animations or stock footage or other edited content where it doesn't rely on them to use their face nor their voice. And so if you have skills in scripting a video, or even then you can hire a script editor, you can still set up a YouTube channel. There is no excuse. Side hustle number 8 is not really a side hustle, and maybe I'm cheating a little bit here, but I still wanted to share this with you guys anyway, because I feel like this is a way of you expanding your thinking around building wealth, and that is to get yourself a job in a company which offers equity. Yes, so many of us think, okay, I need my 9 to 5 to pay my bills, and then I'm going to start running a business in the evenings. Well, now you get caught between two different things, and your focus sometimes is on neither. And again, if you're that type of person that struggles to multitask, it's completely okay for you to search for a job at a startup which is offering equity. That way, you can work your 9 to 5. You can focus on one thing without feeling like your attention is split. You can do your hard focused work, but at the same time, you're vesting equity, which in maybe 2, 3, 5 years time, you will have a nest egg at the end of it waiting for you. Now, in order to be able to secure such a deal, you need to understand what are your strengths. Now, for a startup, the challenge for a startup oftentimes is that they don't have too much money just yet. but they have a big vision, and they have a big vision of where their company wants to get to. But at the same time, they need to be able to hire the best talent. So let's say you're a graphic designer and you know your net worth. You know that you can go to any company in the city and get a good, healthy salary. But that then relies on you having to work a 9 to 5 with no further incentives or equity. Alternatively, you can go work for a startup in a small, hungry environment. Maybe you're going to get paid 10, 20, and maybe even 25% less. But instead, you've got equity being vested. This is a great way for you to build wealth, which will be waiting for you at the end of the next investment cycle. Side hustle number 9, and I could hear a lot of you guys shouting at the screen when I was saying to set up a YouTube channel that you're not confident being on a YouTube channel. Well, it doesn't have to be that. The premise behind this is to set up an audience. And nowadays, you can do this writing blog posts, you can write newsletters, you can do a Substack newsletter, you can be a Twitter thread writer. There are so many different ways for you to build an audience. Find which ones align with your strength and start building that audience. And once you've got that audience, there are so many different ways to monetize this, either through an online education course, which I shared with you earlier, selling physical merchandise or mugs or cups or t-shirts, or affiliate marketing, which we're going to come on to shortly. Side hustle number 10 and one which I'm hugely familiar with, and that is day trading. Now, it's very important that I caveat this, that day trading is not for everybody. I hate people who shout that day trading doesn't work. It just doesn't work for you perhaps, but for many people out there, day trading is a great way to earn extra income. Now, is it a great way to build your net worth? Absolutely not. And that is why after a certain level, you will want to pivot away from day trading into investments and building your long-term wealth. But for now, if you've got nothing and you're looking to build some income, perhaps day trading could work for you. Now, I started day trading when I was 14, 15. Yes, I started at 14 with paper money. By 15, I was practicing with a bit of lunch money, which is always what I say on the channel as well, practice with some lunch money. And then over time, I started running the trading group at my university. Before then, of course, working for an investment bank here in London. But you don't need all those skills. You can learn all of these skills online. And the beauty is you can learn all of these skills from the comfort of your bedroom. There are so many courses out there where you can learn about day trading, learn about the techniques, but ultimately just practice yourself. Now, please only invest what you're willing to lose. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes effort, it takes discipline, it takes you journaling your trades and treating it like a proper job. If you're not wanting to do that, then you want to avoid day trading. Side hustle number 11, and you'll remember earlier that we spoke about the importance of building an audience. Now, one of the ways you can monetize that audience is through affiliate marketing. Yes, affiliate marketing is the ability to share links to other companies and get a kickback if somebody buys the product or service. Now, if you've amassed an audience, if you've got a popular Twitter profile, if you've got a popular Substack newsletter, you can now monetize that audience through embedding affiliate links into your content. If somebody clicks the link in your content and signs up for the product or service, you're going to get some commission in return. And these products can be perfectly aligned with your brand. Let's say you talk about football. You could have an affiliate link to the footballs you buy from Amazon. There are so many companies out there with affiliate referral schemes. One quick Google search and you can get a bunch of unique affiliate links set up, and now you just need to drive traffic to those links. Now, the beauty behind affiliate marketing is that you don't need to be a full-on entrepreneur. You don't need to build a product. You don't have to do customer service. You don't have to hire anybody. All you need to do is drive traffic to a link. Now, before you can drive traffic to a link, you need to build an audience, you need to build authority, and you need to build trust. And those are the pieces that take time. And you could do so for a YouTube channel, a popular blog, a Twitter profile, or any other form of pushing out content. So last but not least is side hustle number 12, and probably the most practical way of generating side income whilst in a 9 to 5. But I'm going to caveat this, it is not easy, and that is setting up an agency. Let's break this down. What is an agency? Whether it's a social media agency, whether it's a crypto agency, whether it's a Facebook ad agency, a Facebook lead gen agency, you've heard of all these terms before. But in simple terms, an agency is you finding the pain points of a company and doing the grunt work for them. You hire a team in-house to do the work for these companies themselves. So you start off with noticing the pain point. What are the pain points? Are they struggling to set up their social media presence? Are they struggling to launch crypto or NFTs? Are they struggling to lead gen? Are they struggling to appointment set? Are they struggling to recruit? And if you can find one of those pain points and build a team and skill set that can do that for businesses, you could charge thousands of dollars a month. And this is a very quick way for you to not just build a side hustle, but to build a machine that can turn into a fully fledged business. Now, it's important to understand, setting up an agency is not fancy. It's not like day trading or selling a digital product. This is hard work. This is you building a business. To start with, it will be you. You'll be doing the work for the company. You'll be running Facebook ads for them. You'll be doing the recruiting for them. You'll be doing the lead generation for them. And as you generate more income, you'll be able to hire people to help you. But it's not easy. It's service-based. It's you doing the hard work, taking all the pain from the company. Because if things go wrong, they'll be on the phone canceling their contract. They'll be on the phone saying, why has this gone wrong? You've not generated to me enough leads. We've not got enough social media followers. What's going on? It's hard work, but it is a proven, tried and tested model. So if you're willing to put in the work over a few years, you can easily start to scale this up before then thinking about what is it you want to move on to after. Now, here's a bonus tip. You can actually merge some of these side hustles. So you remember earlier on that I said one of the companies I set up earlier on was a SaaS company. Now, I actually merged the agency element with the SaaS company. So a SaaS company, very simply put, is you go onto the website and you can pay monthly for the software. You can choose which package you want and you self-serve and you use the platform. But I also had a tailored for you pricing package in there. Now, this tailored for you pricing package was basically just an agency. If there was a company that says, I don't want to do this, I want you guys to do the work for me, we were willing to quote that work up and do it for them. So we had an agency in a hybrid system alongside the SaaS company. And that's a model a lot of companies use as well. So there you have it, guys, 12 side hustles, which all have the ability to generate $12,000 a month. The question is going to be, which one best suits your skill set? Because the reality is you already know enough side hustles before watching this video where you could go out and build income for, but there is something stopping you. What is that thing that is stopping you? That's what you need to identify. Do the side hustles not suit your skill set? Find the one that actually matches up best to your skill set. Find the one that reduces the friction. And the one last thing I'm going to leave you with is none of these happened overnight. We live in a day and age where people come onto social media and make videos of how they generated hundreds of thousands of dollars overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. It's going to take work. It's going to take failures and efforts. I went through many side hustles without generating a single penny and in fact losing money. But when you do find the right one, when you see that the numbers are starting to stack up, that's when you want to double down. So take your time, find the right vehicle, and then put time into it. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, do consider checking out some of my other videos here, and I'll see you in the next one.